Jurgen. Good news that we've heard from you that Virgil van Dijk's had successful surgery on his injury, of course. I just wondered how he is on a personal level and the conversations you maybe have with him about the next few months and what the challenges are for him off the pitch.
Good afternoon. For a moment, I don't think it's the scenario or the place to talk about personal things with Virgil or whoever. What I can tell you that after a surgery, and it was successful, which is really good, the best news you could get, is that this time is always unpleasant. Everybody who had a surgery knows that. You don't wake up and everything is fine, so you feel still the surgery. So, and that's it. But he's good. He's good, as good as you can be, and that's it.
In your time here, you've had other players that have had to come back from long-term injuries. I just wonder what the club does to make sure that they still feel part of the squad and to help them with those inevitable mental challenges that come with being out.
Everything. Easy answer. Absolutely everything. So it's all individual, it's all personal than what this person needs or this person needs, but we do absolutely everything. We did always, and we will do this time, 100%.
And I know the club has now had those conversations with Mike Riley about the Jordan Pickford tackle and about whether there's some of the other incidents in the Merseyside derby. I just wondered whether you're satisfied with what you've had back, essentially, from Mike Riley.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. I would talk immediately about it if it would change anything, but it doesn't. And I'm not sure if the world is really in a place right now where we have to keep this story going. Yes, we still feel something about it, but nothing what happened so far or whatever will happen will change that. The only thing what we can do, we are already on the good side. We count from now on backwards. The days until he's back completely normal, and nothing else to say about.
Thanks for your time.
Okay, Ben, we'll go to Chris Weiss, PLP for 2 questions, Chris. Oh, no, I think you're still on mute, Chris. You need to unmute if that's okay.
Yes.
There you go. We can hear you now. Fire away.
Hello.
Hi.
Just a quick final one. Hello. Just a quick final one on Virgil. Am I right in saying that because he's had such a almost immaculate fitness up to here, physically he's been fantastic, he's hardly picked up any injuries, will that count in his favour in terms of his recovery?
100%. Yeah, clear to say. He's a quick healer, and he is a pain coper, so that's all clear. All these things, yes, they help.
And in relation to your defensive options, I heard Adam Lallana say this week that there won't be any excuses from you and that you enjoy these tests. Do you find some satisfaction in coming up with solutions?
Maybe enjoying is not exactly the right word, but I realized long ago that life is a challenge, and this is a challenge 100%. But yes, in the moment when you it's always how I understood life. Always, if you overcame the first impression of the incident, then it's all about solutions. Problems are only there to find a solution for them. So yes, and the solutions, I'm excited about them. That's true. And I see the challenge in the situation. Yes, and I see there's an opportunity. Yes, that's all true. But still, we play Premier League games we play football games every 3 days, and so this will stay a challenge. So I'm fine, we are fine. We deal with the situation, and we will make the best of it. That's the plan.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Juliet, before we go to you, I've got hands up. I haven't got anyone from Radio Merseyside at the moment or from the Press Association if they can make themselves known, but I'll come to some of the other hands in a bit. Juliet, over to you.
Jurgen, how are the players going into this one? Because you were talking about Jordan Henderson in midweek in the Champions League game and also Fabinho as well. What is the latest on those two? In terms of their fitness?
John Henderson had not a fitness problem, so it was...
No, you said after the game that he came off at half, you made the substitution because you may be a little concerned or being maybe cautious or something.
Responsible is maybe the better word for it. It's just I at least can count a little bit, so I can count the games he played. I can count all the games the boys played, and we have to try to get through this period. If you would have a look at the schedule, then you see that the October is a month like a usual December. The November is a month like a usual December, and the December is still the December. And so that means we have the intensity of the most hectic schedule, which we have every year in December. We have it now already, and that's why we have to make these kind of decisions. So, and we will make them as long as we can make them. The boys are ready to go, and yes, Fab is not in. That's clear. He got a little injury, if you want, so he will be out for the weekend and probably slightly longer. But that's one thing. But all the others who are fit will be in contention, either on the pitch or on the bench and coming on.
And can I ask about the players that are fit, when they see their teammates and they get injuries and the setbacks that you've had so far, obviously with Virgil van Dijk as well, how does that affect them? Can they afford to worry or be a little bit down about it because they are their friends, obviously, or do they just have to focus on what's coming on?
Both. So yes, it's a friend, it's our boy and stuff like this. If something has happened, but we are all used to injuries, so it's not. It is the specific case in that one was that it was so unnecessary, and all the circumstances around it. So getting an injury in a normal challenge is for footballers completely normal. They take it. It's still a blow for everybody because you think, oh my God, that was now really not needed. That's completely normal. The more you like a person, the more you suffer with the person. That's completely clear. But that's, I don't know how long is it ago, 3 weeks or so. So it's nothing we talk about on a daily basis. We get obviously asked about all these kind of things pretty much on a daily basis, but we don't think about it. Apart from around the questions, and so getting injured is really the worst part of the professional sports life, but it's part of it. The only thing we all wanted to talk about in the first place was the kind of scenario. That was what made it kind of special. That's it. But apart from that, injuries are part of the game, and we are unfortunately used to it, and so we're working just with there are two things. So one is we of course we care about Virg and think about him, and he cares about us and thinks about us. That's one thing, and we will never forget that, and all these kind of things. We'll take care for everything he needs. But on the other side, the focus is now of course on the available players, and so with that we are fine.
Great, thank you, Julia. We go to James from TalkSport, and then we'll go to Mike Hughes from Merseyside, and then to James Pearce from The Athletic for the next three questions. First to you, James, TalkSport.
Jurgen, what have you made of Rhys Williams' progression as a footballer over the last few years, and do you feel like he's ready to make his Premier League debut tomorrow?
I cannot say too much about his progress in the last few years, to be 100% honest, but I can say a lot about his progress in the last few weeks or months since he's with us. This is pretty exceptional, but he was already a really good kid when he arrived here. The situation was one of the benefits of having Vitor Mayos in the coaching stuff, because he made us aware of him and said he is really good, so take him in training, stuff like this. So that's what we did, and he looked good. But we have still Billy the kid, and we have Nate Phillips as well. So these are the boys. Billy was not available for some reasons in the last 10-12 days, but he's now back, and they train all with us, they are all with us, and now we have to make decisions.
Okay, fantastic. We go to Mike Hughes for a couple, and then to James Pearce after that. Mike, you need to turn your video and mic off. We can't see you at the moment. Mike, there we are. We can hear you. Yeah, fire away, Mike.
It'll be the 100th Premier League start for Trent Alexander-Arnold tomorrow. I'm sure he's happier with league titles and Champions League winners' medals, but it indicates, when you consider how old he is, what a fabulous achievement for somebody so young who has so many different facets to his game and has still got improvement in it, probably.
Yes, great number, great ride so far, I would say. Interesting journey. Came in with a super basis as a player, as a person, and used it to make big development steps. It's really, I heard about it, and when you see pictures from his pretty much first game, really the boy who came in and the man he's now, even when it's a young man, the difference couldn't be bigger. So of course, when you look at his age, there's a lot of space for improvement, just time-wise already, and he will use that. He will become even a better person, but maybe that's difficult, but more a personality and all these kind of things. So it's really nice to be part of this journey, to be honest, because everybody dreams of something like that, and when you're then part of it, that makes it pretty special.
In terms of the tactical adjustment you made at the top of the pitch last week, and the end result, was fantastic. You won the game, you came from behind it, but I think you indicated after the game that not everything ran as smoothly as you would have liked. How difficult, given the amount of matches, which means less time on the training field, to make tactical adjustments? Is it more difficult under the present conditions than you would like, and not maybe in the normal circumstances?
Yes, it's more difficult, I can imagine. Nearly impossible, but it's possible. So, and that's why we try it, and we'll carry on trying it. Maybe not exactly that system, but other systems. We have to react. Always, my job is to use the squad in the best possible way, and that's what I try to do, obviously. And for the Sheffield United game, it meant we changed slightly, and so that's obviously possible that we do similar things at the weekend, that we do similar things. It depends massively to who we have available and what would make sense against a specific opponent on the weekend. And so, but you know it. So normal. We played, what is today? Friday. We played Wednesday night. So yesterday was recovery for the boys who played, and nothing else possible. Means then we have today secondary recovery, which we always make a mix of secondary recovery, so not a massive intensity, but with some tactical things as well. So not on a high intensity, but very important anyway. And tomorrow we play, So it's how is that now already a couple of times? It's a challenge, but that's how it is, and we don't complain about it or whatever. It's just a situation. And yes, you're right. It makes the lesser time you have available, the more difficult it is.
Fantastic. Okay, we're going to go to the embargoed section soon, which I'll make clear when it comes to that. We've got one from James Pearce, one from Nate Williams, and that'll be it in the open. For the guys who are in the breakout, they can start indicating with hands up on the webinar. James, your question first, though, to the boss.
Hi, Jurgen. Can I just ask you about Thiago and Naby Keita, please? Is Thiago good enough sufficiently to be in contention for this weekend? And also with Keita, we haven't seen him for the past 4 matches. What has he done and where's he up to with his recovery?
Both are in a good way. That's how it is with rehab or recovery. So you saw the incident, how it happened with Thiago, and so that obviously needs now a little bit of time to settle. Nobody can say exactly how long, because nothing is ruptured, nothing is broken, stuff like this. But he's desperate to make the next steps. But if he will be ready for tomorrow, we will see. Same for Naby, just different kind of injury, if we'd say. And the thing is then, when the boys train normally, and how long do you, because in an idle world you give them obviously then enough time to prepare not only for one game but for the next 10, 15, 20 games, or 30, 40 games, however. So that's it. If somebody is in training again, that doesn't mean that you can use them immediately. Sometimes we have to, but as much as we can avoid it, we should try to do that, because I don't feel in a rush or whatever with the boys. It's just we have every day the meeting with the medical department, and then they tell me how it looks in a specific case, and that's information I work with. So I cannot rush it, and I'm not in the mood to do it. So I just make sure with the available boys, we make the best of the situation.
Last question in the open, and then for those in the breakout, and this is going to be a very short breakout, please use the hands up. Nate, to finish this part of it, please.
Hi Jurgen, just on West Ham tomorrow, it's not confirmed whether Mikel Antonio will play or not. But if he doesn't play, does that make it slightly easier for your defence, or who are the other threats that West Ham can give you on Saturday?
Oh, Antonio obviously plays a sensational season so far. Is in a really good shape, and I think if David would miss him or cannot use him, of course that doesn't help. It's like everybody, when you have a player who plays usually all the time and you cannot use him, that doesn't help. But even when you don't know him that good in England, but Haller, I know him from Germany, and he played an incredible season or 2 seasons at Frankfurt and was an incredible striker, different type, but good footballer, quick enough as well, and physically for sure similar strong, if not stronger, brilliant in the air and all these kind of things. So he could be, but they have different options obviously meanwhile, because West Ham did some smart business in the last, I would say, 1.5 years or so, and even boys who are longer there, were longer injured, are now back, and that all looks like that it's now starting to click really, and so yeah, David is doing a really good job, and that's a proper fighting unit which we will face, and one player less will not make it easier for us, not at all. There will be just a different challenge, not exactly the same maybe, but we don't, actually in a moment I expect him to play, if not, then we deal with a different situation.